And you take me higher to a place where blind men see. How offensive is that to blind people? That is the real question. Creed just wasn't sensitive when it came out. With arms wide open. I'll be honest, Creed, phenomenal band. All right, just the best. Creed sounds like when your friend is pretending, like they're almost like Creed sings like they're making fun of someone else singing. When they're like, with arms wide open. It's like when someone's pretending to be Cher. That's what Creed actually sounds like. I'm not impressed, Creed, okay? And I heard that Creed used to blow up condoms and push them around the concerts when I was a kid. And I'm like, that just feels like such a non-Creed thing to do. More like Crass. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. 4th of July special. Pop, pop, back up, Terry. That's one of the greatest videos of all time. Back up, back up. Dude, if I saw a guy in a wheelchair just going to light a firework, I'd stop whatever I was doing. I don't care what I'm doing. Jacking off in the corner. I'm watching and I'm going, something's going to happen right now. This dude's wheelchair is going to fail him. One of the greatest videos we have as a culture is the Backup Terry video. If you haven't seen it, pause this episode. Go watch Backup Terry on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, wherever you get your news. Okay? That's also something else crazy. Some people just get their news from TikTok. Like, you know how your parents will, depending if you have a good parent or not, they'll go to Fox News. They'll go to whatever other bullshit liberal people listen to. And like, they just go to that and they're like, oh, well, let's see what's going on in the world today. There are people growing up right now who are like, oh, I just want to be more educated on the world. And then they go to TikTok and they're like, this will give me what I need. And then it's just fucking bitches dancing, just hitting fucking things and doing shit. And then there's titties and there's ass. And they're like, okay, world seems like it's in a good place. Okay. It almost, and I know we've talked about this so much, but it's like, it's something that's so on my mind all the time is like the pull of the phone and social media and everything. Let's not do it. Let's listen. It's Independence Day. Let's be independent from those topics. Okay. And listen, your boy has been recording. I sound like I'm a 90s youth pastor that is just really trying to pull people in with hip hop terms. Like, couldn't you see your 90s youth pastor coming up and be like, what's going on, y'all? Y'all praying to Jesus? Better believes us that he ain't going to leave us for neither of us. And just like start like, who? Yo, dude, like they'll just be like, yo, my boy JC from B-Town, from fucking Bethlehem, going ham in the Bethlehem. There's nothing crazier than when religious people rap. And just, it's hard. It's hard when you see religious people rapping. Why do they all are like, why is there no real good Christian rappers? Okay. And that's not an invitation to send me some bullshit. Okay. It's all bullshit at the end of the day. You're rapping about Jesus. All right. So you rap about Harry Potter. Is something just magical? You over here, listen, if you're rapping about Jesus Christ, you might as well be like rhyming fucking unicorn with you and a porn. Okay? Dude, don't judge me for that. All right? Listen, I feel like maybe 45% of the Christian rappers, maybe they wear like blue dress shirts. I just think like the barrier to entry is so much lower for a Christian rapper. Any kind of religious rapper, because there got to be Mormon rappers, right? Dude, if anybody was going to be like, yo, all my bitches, I got hoes, it's the Mormons, right? Like, they're the ones that are actually out there fucking doing it. Rappers talk about it. Listen, rappers always want to pretend like I got all these bitches and hoes in different area codes. Motherfucker, he's saying that shit and then going home to a wife who's just yelling at him. She's like, fucking Ludacris, take your goddamn shoes off and get in the goddamn house. You over there bullshitting. And then he's just like, sorry, baby. Ooh, ooh, ick, 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 ooh. Like, it's just, That was a Ludacris reference if that sound effect didn't make any sense to you, okay? Cops just pass, ooh. Because that's the truth. This is the truth, and I think what's amazing for real life, and this is where I think Kanye fucked up, all right, is that you can be the dopest person and go out and be doing all this shit. You go home, your dog, and that's what's so great about your dog doesn't give a shit. It just, what's up, dude? Welcome back. I don't need anything. I just want to hang out. Okay, I didn't eat my food while you were gone because I was worried sick. But now you're back. I'm gonna eat my food, but I'm gonna let you pet me for a little bit, and then I'm gonna go eat my food, and then I'm gonna come chill by you. Hell, I might even spend the rest of the evening just staring at you. Make sure you're not disappearing on me. Okay, the dogs are amazing because of that, and I think there's something so profound about that, about having that once you come home, you're there. It doesn't matter what's going on in the outside world. And I think that's what relationships are, and a family and everything like that is you could be whatever. You can be fucking Ludacris talking about hoes in different area codes. You go home and your wife's like, yeah, that's fucking cute. Get your fucking shoes off my goddamn rug. Okay. And Ludacris has to listen. Ludacris just has to be like, all right, bitch. But he says bitch part in his head. Can't say that because then sleeping on the couch. Okay. It is what it is. And it's hilarious to think that so many of these people will be saying this and then they just go home, you know? It would not, if you know me, you know that I've never really bought any of Ludacris's lyrics. That when he started describing, what is that song? Your Fantasies. That's when I checked out on Ludacris being like talking real. He is over here. Basically, it might as well be rapping about Jesus and unicorns and Harry Potter because he's just like, I want to know what you fantasy. And he was like, we do it in the library on a stack of books. No, who the fuck would ever? You know how uncomfortable it'd be if you're trying to have sex and actually do a good job and there's a dictionary poking in your back? You're like, this is so unbalanced. I would like, and whoever invented waterbed, same thing. It's like, oh yeah, let's fucking move around and add all this weird. You got to get some feng shui, Wing Chun energy going to be able to balance that shit. It's not good for you. It's not healthy for a relationship to constantly be throwing these variables at them when you're trying to engage in a productive sexual or intercourse. All right. What was it? Ludacris also would say in the back seat with the windows up. That's the way we like to fuck. No, it's what you did because people weren't homeowners when that song, like that's why you would choose the car. No one's in a home and, you know, like seducing a woman, there's a fire going, you know, there's a rug on the floor. There's a nice Tempur-Pedic bed with good support and posture and balance. They're not going, hey, things are starting to get the steamy. Let's go out to my fucking 2004 Toyota Corolla and let's carry this on there. No, let's get in this crammed, uncomfortable little cubicle, okay? It'd be like someone working in an office being like, you know, I don't want this corner office with the view of the sunset. Give me that little cubicle, okay? I want my posture fucked up. I want to be not able to get, it's like having sex in a Rubik's Cube. That's what it feels like when you're in your backseat of a car. You're trying to put your leg in here, your knees falling off the thing, you're cramping, but you finally gotten momentum going and you're just like, I'm just trying to get through this at this point. So Ludacris, fuck off with that whole idea of a fantasy. Maybe a nightmare. Is that what it is? It's not a good fantasy. We're talking about bad ones. But anyway, I don't know how we got here from Mormons rapping. I've actually never even thought about that. If there are Mormon rappers, there has to be. There's got to be every single kind of rapper. What if all the Christian rappers got to heaven and God was like, no, dude, you're fucking done. No, you're not coming in. You spent your time rapping down there. Rapping is a sin. I feel like, wouldn't that be anxiety inducing if like you're religious, but it's like now we're just filling in the blanks because like all these new activities have popped up since there was, you know, what are they? What is the Bible Constitution? What were the things on the 10 Commandments? That's what it was. I almost said amendments. Thou shalt not kill on stage. That would be one, I bet. But anyway, we've really wrung that one dry, ladies and gentlemen. Listen. Your boy's been putting in work, okay? Doing a little bit of this, doing a little bit of that. Things are good here in Austin. And when I say Austin, I'm outside. Listen, I'm basically about 20, 25 minutes outside of Austin. Okay. And I fucking love it. Okay. Listen. In the beginning, when I first moved here, this is a little inside baseball for some people. Even if you're established in a different comedy scene, and depending how established you are and just what kind, it's different for everybody. Here's the crazy part, and this is just what you gotta do if you're a younger comic and you're trying to break through and you're getting frustrated. Don't compare your shit to anybody else's. Anybody else's journey. Oh, they got this and that and blah blah blah. Don't do that. You're not gonna get anything good from it. Just focus on you and just keep doing your own thing. So, but when you come from another scene, you usually have to kind of start over in that new scene. Depending on where that scene is at, could be different times and eras of that scene. Now it feels like in Austin, the barrier to entry for a brand new comedian might be a little tougher because you weren't here. Like fucking Drake said with Rick Ross, bitch, you wasn't with me shooting in the gym. There was a lot of us that moved here. 2021, 2020, maybe first Trek started making it out here. We were all just fresh faced being like, oh, we're going to be here. You know, this is so cool. And we all kind of mingled a bit, but I was like outside. I was like 20, 25 minutes. So I would sometimes be like, I don't want to drive all the way in for this fucking mic that I'm going to sit there for 45 minutes, an hour just to do 4 or 5 minutes for comedians that aren't paying attention. And it was just like kind of the right thing to do is that you should go and you should mingle and everything. It's a huge part of it. So in that phase where I wasn't getting a lot of shows and I was just still getting established out here, it was frustrating because I was living like 25 minutes out. It wasn't even a little bit longer. Sometimes it'd be like 35, 40, depending when these mics are. Because mics are usually a little bit earlier than shows. And I'd be, anywho. All that to be said, it sucked in the beginning because I would always have to be driving in for not a lot of ROI. Sometimes you just do shit. You're just going through the motions. But now I'm at the point where I'm doing a little bit more. And it's nice to live outside of the chaos and go into it and just be there as a fucking tourist almost. And then I'm like, I'm fucking out of here. And then I hit the fucking 35, fucking southbound. Just get me the fuck out of this shit. Because when you're downtown, listen, downtown Austin is a wild experience, okay? You go down there and it's like Mad Max meets the Joker meets homeless CrossFit people. Because listen, one thing about 6th Street, there are some jacked homeless people, okay? And it's always, there's a little bit of it where you're like, okay, this homeless person, they're going to get crazy. They try to touch me. You got to be firm with them. It's a wild thing because if it is like going through the elephant graveyard. You got to be a little firm with them, and you can be polite. I'm always polite. I always answer them. If they try to talk to me, they're human beings, okay? And sometimes you look at them and you can see a human being looking at you, and you treat them like a human being. And sometimes you look at them and you're not seeing a human being looking at you. You're seeing a shark, a hungry shark that is literally circling you. And you're going, oh, we're doing this dance where you're trying to murder me in some way, okay? If I don't give you this thing, or you're just having an episode and you want to physically attack me or something, and scream at me. The one thing that was crazy, there was this lady, she was sitting on the sidewalk, and everybody who would walk by, she would just scream and yell at them like, ah, this crazy outburst. And I was walking by with a couple of comics, and she did that to me, and I did it right back. And she like didn't know what to do. She's like, oh shit, sometimes you gotta out crazy the crazy. And she kind of settled down for a little bit. And then I saw her again doing it like 5 minutes later. And then I walked back from Sunset Strip, and she did it again to me. So I was like, okay, yeah, she's back to normal. But it's a crazy place. And because I go there a lot more now, it's just, it's stressful. It's smelly. There's constantly a lot of craziness. Like I hope over time it gets better, but it's one of those things where, do you remember when everybody was like defund the police? And it was always people who never needed police, that they were the ones being like, yeah, defund them. And it's like, well, you're hurting a lot of minorities and poor neighborhoods and people where there are a lot of crime. You're in this really nice area and you didn't grow up with crime and all of that. So you don't really know the importance of having a police presence. And whether your intentions are good or not, you were like, you want this thing because you just don't understand it. So I don't necessarily fault people for these ideas if they just don't understand it. But that's what it feels like with the homeless situation here in Austin, where people who are like, yeah, we have to do this and do that and this, and like create an environment where it like multiplies and like bacteria, it grows. Because that's what it feels like. If you cultivate an environment where some of these things are okay, it just gets worse and worse and worse, and people take advantage of it. And it's, one time a week that I'm driving through downtown Austin and I'm at a stoplight and some dude starts cleaning my windshield with piss. I wish I could say just kidding, but it's like that shit happens. I had this dude come up to my windshield with a bottle of yellow liquid. Okay, come on. Okay, what's that liquid? It's not food grade. Okay, it's not. I know he didn't go get that from a hardware store. Okay, because what he was using to just wipe it in was just a crumpled up piece of paper. And it was almost like bring your kid to work day of another homeless person, where he just tagged along and was just playing with imagination. Like he was living in the Peter Pan world of Hook, where you have to use your imagination to get everything to work. But he wasn't even trying to clean people's cars. You might be like, Evan, that's so like judgmental but also don't just clean my car. Okay. I barely clean my windshield. Okay. But I have like actual liquid that I do it and okay. But he just sprays this thing on it as I'm telling him no and honking my horn, because they don't listen. They don't listen to a little, they don't check with you. They just start doing it. And he sprays his liquid and rubs it in until I can't even see out of my windshield. And then just walks away and goes and does it to the next car. But what's crazy about the next car, I was watching this, is he does it to them. The guy gets violently angry, rolling down his windows, going, "Fuck you, man. Fuck you." And I'm like, dude, you're talking to a ghost right now. You're talking to a ghost, because the dude wasn't even phased and he was just going through the motion and he was just like, doo-doo-doo, doo-doo-doo, doo-doo-doo. That's what I figured was going on in his head. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, happy 4th of July. Big plans. Back up, Terry. We've been having a string of guests on the podcast. I'm curious. I look at the engagement of the numbers of when I have guests and when I have just solo episodes. I don't know which is preferred, okay? I don't know which one you guys like, the dedicated audience that listens weekly. And I'd love to get that number. I'd love to understand and just hear from you, okay? So feel free to slide in a DM if you feel so inspired to be like, I like those episodes. I like when you have guests. I like when you have solos, okay? We can do a nice balance. That's what I'm kind of doing right now. I have a few already canned with guests that I'm trying to spread out and, just make it happen, Captain. But I enjoy it. I enjoy doing both. So it comes down to what you guys want from Daddy, okay? I feel like I'm starting to hit an age where I can refer to myself as Daddy, okay? I'm starting to get gray hair and everything. I'm just becoming a real man, okay? I've been having gray hair for a little while now, but now it's just coming in. I think wisdom is coming in, and it's just something you gotta accept. It's a weird milestone to just like have random back pain and stuff. It's so cliche where I feel like a hack even saying it. Be like, brr, 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 brr. But I count my blessings, okay? Because I am feeling very good, like for what I could be feeling like in my life, like my body and everything like that. I took on a lot of damage for my body for the little amount of juice worth the squeeze with like a boxing career and everything. Cause I had so much sparring and just gym wars and so much wear and tear with boxing in general, with jumping rope and everything, with the lack of accomplishment with the amount of actual fights I did, like as a competitive boxer. Um, but I love it nonetheless. I still box. I box today. I got a little garage gym, and I was just thinking about that where I'm like, man, I took on so much head damage, and it was like, if you're gonna be world champion and just really go for the gusto, then it's worth the squeeze. But if it's like you're just doing it for fun, what are you doing? I think about that now with sparring. So like I don't spar really anymore. I'll move around with people and do like light sparring, someone I trust, but I have no ego tethered to like needing to beat someone up in sparring. Like I enjoy the craft and the beauty of boxing. I love, one of my favorite things is to be working out and just putting on Floyd Mayweather sparring videos, not even fight videos, the sparring videos. And it's some of the most beautiful stuff ever where you're just like, just the dude is a master of movement and distance and makes it look simple. It's crazy. But I love that side of it. But as far as like, yeah, let me just take on some head damage for no reason. Let me do this. I don't have that. Okay. I don't need it anymore. It's crazy. I think I would do some kind of boxing match maybe someday if it was like a novelty thing for a decent amount of money. I would do that, and I think it would be so much fun just to do it that way, to experience it, really get into like a real training camp that is like you actually spend money on and you're invested and it's going to be a big payoff and everything. I think that would be a blast just to do something like that, but to actually just take head damage for no reason. Life is like a box of chocolates. No, life is, I feel like it's all about stats. Like if you ever played video games where you had a certain amount of points to put into different things of your character, you have to like be very delicate and like really see where you want your points and energy to go. It's something I've been trying to focus on and really do. Like I try to just optimize my life. It's one of the most satisfying feelings is just optimizing and feeling good and feeling like you're being efficient with your time and your energy and your focus and ROI. Like I try to be a good investor with my time and energy and what am I get out of it. And it doesn't even mean financially or career-wise or just anything. It can be even stress where it's like me going fishing on a random day is going to be great ROI for my mental health. It's going to give me that boost that I need. Because I notice if all work, no play makes Jack a dull boy, and you need to be happy. You need to be doing things. I think you need to get away from things and kind of always get out of your comfort zone and also like get out of your normal routines. You can get inspired, in the weirdest way, by even listening to different kind of music. I do that. I mean, if you saw my Spotify playlist, my wife was actually telling me earlier, because I came in, because I've been listening to, listen, don't judge me for this. I've been listening to a lot of choir renditions of songs, of classic songs, of popular songs that are done by choirs and like with a little bit of like orchestra. I love when like a good cover that's in a completely different style, unless it's country people doing rap. That's another thing. You want me to get me going off on a different kind of rap that I'm like, what do you settle down? Is when with country stars start rapping and they're just like breaking it down a little bit. Sometimes it's cool, but most of the time I'm like, you need to stop, stay in your lane. All right. But listening to choir, and my wife was just like, because I came in, I just finished this workout. I was like, man, I fucking love this. I listened to shit on repeat and just fucking got through the workout. And she's like, I love that when I first met you, I would have never expected you to be this kind of person. And like you'd be so into like musicals and shit. And I listen to every single kind of music you can think of. I do love musicals, dude. I'll work out to the soundtrack of Wicked. I don't give a shit. I love it. The Greatest Showman. Oh, I fucking love that one. They're just great, fun songs. Musicals are great. Okay. All the Disney songs. Listen, say what you will. I think Disney's actually done a pretty good job of making some original stories. I wish movies would make original movies. I'm like, that we've done so many remakes. I think the live action money grab is ridiculous. I don't know if we needed the live action. The live action Lion King was it made no sense. I was like, okay, if you're gonna do a live action Lion King, make it live action. Like actually have it be real lions. You basically just did a different kind of rendering of, it's not real is what I'm saying. Okay. And The Little Mermaid, it was, listen, the lowest hanging fruit with The Little Mermaid. We all know it. Black people in swimming. Listen, I don't give two shits. So was there anybody who was really offended that there's a black mermaid? That's the weirdest shit ever, to get offended that a cartoon character got switched. And here's the other thing is you can't get offended when anybody switches from anything. So if it's like, I don't care what kind of role it is, they're like, they should have hired an authentic Asian actor to play this part. To play pretend? They're like, they should have gotten a real magical little boy to play Peter Pan. Okay, let's do that. Well, they should have got a real fish to play the fish. Shut the fuck up. All right? Not on the 4th of July. I won't let you take that from me. Now it's the 5th of July when we're talking about this. Oh, I don't know, ladies and gentlemen. I wanted to hop on to a solo episode, okay, and just talk to you directly. Just get real nice in your ear holes and just get in there, okay? We had a late night. Your boy closed out the show at Roscoe's Comedy last night. Listen, one of the best times I've had at a club was last night. Great green room vibes, great audience. They packed it out. Pretty sure it was sold out. Dope venue, dope room, great people who own and run Roscoe's Comedy. I got to talk to him a bit after the show. It's always dope when you see something grow, okay? Because they opened the club. I had the opportunity to perform early on there, and I've seen the progression and the growth and the attrition that they've had, which is sticking to it and producing great shows, giving opportunities, being great people. And that's what I really like about the owners of Roscoe's Comedy Club, East Austin, right across from the 35. If you're going to the Mothership, Sunset, Vulcan, Creek in the Cave, and you can't get in, you want something a little different away from the riffraff, go to Roscoe's Comedy Club. Okay, great people, a great vibe, a great room. The sound in there is great. Dope lighting. They know how to produce a show. And more importantly, the green room is a vibe. Okay, listen, it feels like it was a comedy club that they had the comedians in mind, and they want to really, push good comics and build something. All right, and I think it's great. They're really in it. So shout out Roscoe's Comedy Club. Had a great time. Rowdy crowd. Okay, they were in for it though. But what do you expect on the eve of 4th of July? All right. I didn't realize it would be such a hot night for comedy. Okay, but the people were out and they were ready to party. Okay, because no one's working today. And they just got nothing to do. So they're like, let's fucking go tear it up at Roscoe's. And it was a great time. Okay. I had fun. All the comedians killed. And yeah, it was a late night though. Late night. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. That's it. That's all we're going to talk about. I think we did enough. We really just touch base. I love you guys. Oh yeah. I've been something I'm trying again. You guys know Andrew Huberman, right? He's like all into fucking health and optimizing and shit. Your boy's been waking up. And I think I've preached about it for way too long about how I don't have my phone in the same room. I don't go on social media on my phone. I've been waking up. I woke up yesterday. This was the first morning my wife and I committed to it, where I woke up. I'm not going to have coffee or caffeine for 90 minutes. And the first thing we did was went for a walk. We took our dog out. And I sat there on the couch like a red-eyed demon. And I was like, this is miserable. And it was one of the hardest wake-ups. And then we went for this walk. I came home. I worked out instantly. Took a shower. Oh, after the walk, I did 30 minutes of stand-up work, which is like, if I hit that, I'm great. And I'll be honest with y'all. Going for a walk, instantly getting that sunlight, working my 30 minutes of stand-up, where I just write, review, go over sets, just work on stand-up, working out, made my coffee. I felt amazing doing all of that before checking emails, checking my phone, checking social media, all of that. The first couple hours of my day was phenomenal because I did everything I needed to do to be like a happy, good human, where I got my sunlight, that sets up your circadian rhythm. It really wakes you up. I guess if you don't have coffee, if you have coffee in the first 90 minutes when you wake up, it doesn't really work the way you're supposed to use caffeine. It interrupts the process of naturally waking up, and what's supposed to happen in your body has its own thing to kind of wake you up. I'm not a scientist, so I don't know. But doing that, working out, getting my most important objective of the day for me, stand up, is writing, getting those things out of the way. That's at my core the priority. Okay. So I got my wake up, workout, stand up. Those are the priorities. All right. And then not checking my phone, text messages, emails, social media. I'm not getting that dopamine fucking crash from social media. I'm not getting irritated by my phone or emails if something happened. And I'm like, it anchors your day in a good moment. So I suggest giving it a try. I'm only on day 2. Day 2 was a little more lax. I got up 30 minutes later just because I got home around midnight last night. So I was like, I'll let myself have an extra 30 minutes, and woke up at 8:30. But yeah, it's a holiday. All right. I don't give a shit. But we still working, baby. Anyway, I hope you guys had a great 4th of July. I hope you all got your digits still there. And I'll see you next week. I believe next week our guest is Andre Ricks, hilarious comedian, one of the entrepreneurial style comedians here in Austin, Texas. He's co-owner of East Austin Comedy Club and South Austin Comedy Club. Great fella, hilarious comedian. We had a great conversation. That episode's coming out next week. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, it's a great way to stay in shape. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Check out the podcast on YouTube. Leave a comment. It helps me. All right. And remember, no matter what, I still love you.